Okay. Sorry, I was unfortunately interrupted. You done?
Yeah, I finished discussing with her. Is
Okay.
there anything else you want to tell me?
No, that's it.
Okay.
So we'll get in touch. We've got your details. We're definitely going to call you when we are.
Okay.
Have a nice day. Take
You
care.
too. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye. All right. So thank you very much, and sorry for that. Thank you very much for being patient. As I earlier on started and unfortunately got interrupted. Um, just a brief about Skill Dance. If you're watching me for the first time, thank you very much for joining me. Just to tell you what Skill Dance does, what we're about, and the various events we have going forward. Currently, I'm drafting somebody's blog, Basic Bodice blog, and that is the main reason why I'm on live, to be able to share this in a live video with you, because I know a few of the ladies in our usual workshop, they struggle a little bit with the Bodice blog. But before I go straight into that, I would like to tell you a little bit about Skilled Hands and the various events we have going forward. We have a few events that I believe, if you happen to live in Nottingham, or you happen to live around Nottingham or in the East Midlands, you would be excited to join us if you're a craft lover or anybody who likes to support community growth and women empowerment. So Skilled Hands is a community interest company that empowers women. We started empowering women through artisan crafts workshops. We're beginning to diversify because we are looking at sustainability. So we've diversified a little bit into various groups. We are now doing things for children. We are also doing things for the elderly, but our main focus is women empowerment. So we run various workshops in dressmaking, bag making, body care product making, and that's a wide range. That is why we put it in body care product making, because we do lip balm, bath salt, bath bombs. We do soap, cold processed soap, melt and pour soap. We also do, from the top of my head, perfumes, um, body scrubs. There's a whole range of things we do in our craft workshops that we believe you'll benefit from. All right. And then we also have our bag making workshops where we work with leather, as you can see leather behind me, and we also work with fabrics as well. And then we have our jewelry making workshop where we do everything with beads, with findings, with wires, and a whole range of things. You can check our website for more information about Skilled Hands. The website is skilledhandsorganization.org. The organization is spelled with an S, the British way of spelling organization. Basically, I think in a nutshell, that is what we are all about. Recently, we've introduced two new workshops, and these are the recycling workshop and digital growth workshop, where we are empowering women to be able to take their business to the internet, because that is the age where we are. Everything is online and everybody's online. And if you want to be able to market to that audience, then you need to learn how to post, how to create content, and how to market online. So that is a new workshop we've introduced based on request. And the women are doing marvelously well in that class and are always excited about the new creations they're coming up with. So, in a nutshell, that is Skilled Hands. Now, in going forward, I'm going to talk about the red carpet. So, the red carpet has become an annual fundraising event. This is the fifth time we're going to be running the red carpet. So, it's Red Carpet 5. We are hoping to put up a beautiful show. If you happen to be living in Nottingham, Loughborough, Leicester, all of these places, Peterborough, and you can easily reach us, please come. We'll be excited to have you and create a better relationship with you, like a face-to-face relationship, as in somebody who's been following us on social media and is here to meet us in person. We'll be excited to receive you. But the red carpet event in previous years used to be a 3 activity in one. This year around, we are hoping to make it a 2 activity in one, simply because we never really had time to handle all 3 activities in one when we did that. So, as we are always wanting to improve, the feedback that came, which we gladly accepted and working on, is to keep the exhibition separate from the fashion show and the awards ceremony. So the red carpet basically is like a mini graduation ceremony for the women who've been to Skilled Hands and have done our workshops. And it's going to be a fashion show where the women in the dressmaking class are making garments for the models to model on the runway. They are also going to be wearing some of their own creations. As I'm sitting here, I'm going to be drafting for, I think, 13 to 15 models who will be coming on the runway, and that is what I'm going to be doing now in a few minutes, showing you how to do a basic bodice block. All right, that is another day where we get to award our women for the journey so far, the skills they've acquired, and everything else that comes with it. We're trying to bring the relevant people there who will be able to help these women go forward, as we are not just impacting only skills. We want them to be able to use these skills to start a small business of their own. And that's why we are putting measures in place like the digital growth workshop, where they're not just learning the skills, and if they decide to turn the skills into a small business, they'll be able to market and advertise their businesses online to reach a wider audience. So on that day at the red carpet, we hope to be able to launch a few new businesses that are coming up. Last year, we were able to launch 3 new businesses, if I'm right, on that day. This year, we are hoping to do a lot more, because our women, most of them, are turning the skills into small business. So this brings me to craft fair, which is happening on the 12th of July 2025 at the Vine Community Center. It's going to be happening from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. So that's quite some time in there for you to meet some of our women who have turned their businesses, their skills into small businesses, who are trying to make passive income from the skills they've learned from skilled hands, and also to create connections, make friends, and build and grow your own small business from there. Skilled hands is definitely going to be there. We are going to be putting out most of the things we've done, handmade products. If you're looking at buying unique handmade products, this event is the right place to be, as you will be able to get the right things you need as a gift giveaway for that special person. So don't miss out. Be there to support Skilled Hands. Show your support to what we're doing for the women in the community, as this is what we love and this is what we do best. We've been running Skilled Hands for over 7 years, and we are still running because all of you, not just the few of us here physically, but all of you online, have been a massive support to this mission, making sure that we are able to push it and take it to where we have to take it. So thank you very much for your support and everything else. I'm going to quickly go into the draft, as I do not want to take too much of your time, and neither do I want this live to be too long. I have too many lights in this room, so it's difficult to get the right angle for a video, and I keep getting a lot of reflections, but I hope I'll be able to go through this process with you without a lot of obstructions. Okay, so here we are. Hopefully we can do this and you can see it properly. I'm drafting for an 8-year-old who is going to be turning 9 very soon. So I've got all my measurements in front of me. I took, if you're somebody who's never taken body measurements before, I took the shoulder to shoulder measurement, that is from my hair to there, shoulder to shoulder measurement, and then I also took my shoulder measurement. Let's see if I can go to the mannequin and do a little demonstration over there for anybody who is going to be watching for the first time. Okay, hopefully we can do some work here. Great, 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 great. All right. So let's get into body measurements, and then we'll go and transfer that onto paper. Okay, so basically your body's draft is taking your whole body measurement as like this, the whole body measurement, and putting it onto paper. So we're going to be doing that for this mannequin, and then we transfer this onto paper here, as that is what I have, and this will actually help you to manipulate or to create various designs from your bodice block. So a basic bodice block is very, very basic, as it's not actually really tailored to any style. It's just taking your body frame and placing it onto paper so that you can always manipulate with different styles from there. Okay, so basically that's it. And today I'm going to be doing that with my mannequin here. Okay, I believe this is like a size 8, size 10. I think a size 10 if I'm right. Okay, so let's start with our body measurement. Shoulder to shoulder, that will be our back. Okay, it's always taken from the back, and it's taken from the lower point of your shoulder across there. All right, so that will be the shoulder to shoulder measurement, and I like to work in inches. If you follow Skilled Hands, you realize that I've said this a number of times, that I like to work in inches. So if you're not the type who likes to work in inches, I'm really sorry, bear with me, but always do your conversions in inches. Okay, so it's from there to here, and that is my shoulder to shoulder measurement. One point to the end is my shoulder to shoulder measurement. Okay, and we take a shoulder measurement, and that is from the nape of your neck out to your shoulder, and that is your shoulder measurement. Then we go to shoulder. So I like to do all my horizontal measurements, and then I'll do all my vertical measurements, because that makes it easier when you are drafting. And by no means I'm not saying go by mine, but that is what works for me, and that is what I'm going to be teaching you here. So you do your shoulder to shoulder measurement, then we do our bust measurement. Now bust measurement is the full part of your bust, okay, like that. Now this keeps slipping off the mannequin, but the fullest part of your bust is where you're taking that measurement. You leave a finger in as you take that measurement. I'm going to turn it around, and hopefully my tape measure is not going to move, but it has to go across the figure and not going down like that. Not this, which is not the right way to do it, but basically going across it. Okay, then we do our waist measurement, and then we do the hip measurement. The hip measurement is the fullest part of the hip, so you have to keep moving your tape measure up and down until you're able to get the hip measurement. Basically that's it. And then we go and do our vertical measurement. So our vertical measurements are all the measurements that are going vertical. So I'm going to do my neck or shoulder to bust, which is here. And you see, I just allow that to fall on top of the bust. Okay, and if I look at it, I think the fullness lies around 10. So my shoulder to bust is 10, and it's always from the nape of the neck going down to the bust. And then I take my waist measurement, which is here, 15, and then I go down to take my hip measurement, which is 23 for the mannequin. So basically these are the main, the main measurements to take for your basic bodice block if you're doing that. Some of the body measurements could be generated as you go along. One of these is like your armhole, which you can always generate from some of these measurements you've taken already. So I'm going to take you back quickly into the bodice draft, and then we will take it from there. Okay, let me turn my heating off, as I've had it on in the morning. I was feeling a little bit cold. Hopefully I'll be able to get a good angle for you. Great. So what I'm going to do first is to put a straight line at the top here, and that will be my shoulder line. Okay, just trying to position my camera right so that I get a very good angle for you. All right, so I'll do a straight line up here, serving as my shoulder line. Okay, as a standard, the neck, well, this is for a child, like I said, it's for 8 to a 9-year-old. So her shoulder to shoulder is 11. Half of 11 is 5.5. Now there's something that I left out that I'm going to be talking about in a minute. So when you're doing your body's draft, it's like you're doing a quarter of your body. All right, so I'm going to be drafting on a quarter, so that when I open it up, I'm going to have the full size of my body. I guess I'm going to have to go back to the mannequin to talk to you about this again. So I'm going to bring my mannequin back So this is a quarters bodice block that has been done here, all right? Now when I come back to my mannequin, I'm going to be doing a quarters bodice block draft. So this is what I'm going to be drafting, just this bit, okay? That's a quarters bodice block. Now when I put another quarter together, then I get the half bodice block, and that is the front of my bodice block. When I turn the back, I'll also be drafting on a quarters bodice block, and when I put those blocks, 2 blocks together, we get the full back of our bodice block. When I put all 4 together, then we get the bodice block in a round of the figure. I don't know if that makes sense. So when I go back to the paper, what I'm going to be teaching you is a quarters bodice block, and that is what I am drafting here on paper. So you'll see that I'd said shoulder to shoulder measurement for my model was 11 inches, and because I'm going to be doing it on a quarters block, I'm going to half that. So 11 divided by 2, that gives us 5.5, because I'm only working on this bit. I don't know if that makes sense. So when I go down to my full round measurement, I'll be dividing them by 4. So all the round measurements, like my bust round, waist round, my hip round, all of those measurements will be divided by 4 when I go back to the drawing board, because you're only doing a quarters block. And I hope that that makes sense. So I'm going to go back onto paper, and then we take it from there. Okay, good. Just trying to position right, and that's a bit difficult now, but I'm going to get it. So here, all right, so this is my 5.5, all right, and that becomes my shoulder. From there, I'm going to come down 1 inch, okay, and my shoulder for my model says 2.5, so I'm going to put my 2.5 inch here. All right, so that is my shoulder. And bring that closer a bit so they can see. This then becomes my shoulder, okay? From that end, from the tip of the shoulder, you come down 1 inch, and then you connect the line. So then this becomes your shoulder slope, okay? This is where we're going to be inputting our neckline. All right, at that bit there, based on the measurement, I did my neck depth 3.5. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to be squaring it out. $3.5. I'll just square that on out. I hope my measurements are right. 3.5. Let me transfer 3.5 to this bit here, and then just so that we are getting well drawn outlines. Okay, 3.5. Now let's go on and put in vertical measurement, and that is the main reason why I said when you put those measurements separately, like your vertical measurement and your horizontal measurement, is always very helpful. So I'm going to do my shoulder to bust measurement as we position that. So my shoulder to bust measurement, that is 6.5. Oh, shoulder to bust measurement, that's 7, sorry. Shoulder to waist measurement is 12. Shoulder to hip measurement is 16. 16.5, sorry. Shoulder to hip measurement is 16.5. Okay, I'm just doing a few corrections here. Great. So these are my vertical measurements. I'm going to make sure that they are all on the same. So I'm going to be transferring it here. 7. shoulder to waist, shoulder to bust is 7, shoulder to waist is 12, shoulder to hip is 16.5. I'm going to grab my ruler and then I'll transfer all these horizontal lines out, and then we can start working on the round measurement. You realize that I have not put in my chest measurement yet, because that would be decided based on some calculation. All right, great. All right, so let's look at our bust measurement. Our bust measurement is 26 divided by 4. I'm going to do that quickly and then we take it from there. 26 divided by 4. That is 6.5. So bust, waist, hip. Okay, it looks like this line has gone off a little bit, because that's the bust, waist, that's the waistline. So I'm going to reposition it. All right, so my bust says 6.5. Now let's do it for the waist. The waist is 25. That'll be 25 divided by 4, 6.25. And then our hip round measurement says 31 inches. So that'll be 31 divided by 4, and that'll be 7.75 inches. Okay, now I'm going to be connecting all of these lines now, all of these side lines. You realize that we did not do the chest line because I'm going to be doing the armhole calculation, and then we come and put in the chest line. Okay, so the armhole calculation is bust divided by 6 plus 1.5, and my bust measurement is 26. So 26 divided by 6 plus 1.5, that gives me 5.8333, but I'm just going to be working with 5.8. Okay, so I'm going to grab my ruler. From this shoulder point, I'm going to drop it down to 5.8, which is almost about quite close to the bust, not too far from it. So 5.8, this 5.5, that's somewhere here. Okay, it looks like my bust is just around my chest area, as like I said, it's for a child. Okay, so I'm going to be looking for half of this line. It's easier to always do it with a tape measure. So that is here, and then I'm just going to put my tape measure into 2. That way I can easily find the midpoint for my armhole line. So that's the midpoint over there. Okay, at this midpoint, I'm going to come back. You can either do 1/4 of an inch, you can do 3/4. I think I'm going to be doing 3/4. So from this point, I'm going to come here about 3/4 of an inch, and I'm going to bring my armhole curve and then do my armhole there. All right. Pull it back up. And I'm going to draw the line to connect it to my shoulder, to connect it to the chest. All right, so then I extend this to join the chest. So this then becomes my armhole curve. Okay, I'm just going to input my neckline, and basically that will be it. Now at this point, I'm beginning to look at the shoulder to bust measurement, if that was taken right. It looks like that was not really taken right, but I'm going to leave it there as it is, and then we carry on from there. Okay, so now let's go in and do darts. So let's look for bust span. For this, the bust span says 5. So half of 5 will be 2.5. Okay, so I'm going to be putting that here. The bust span is basically where we're going to be doing the dart. So 2.5. I'm going to transfer that onto the bust line. I've got it as well on the waistline, and I'm going to transfer it back onto our hip line, 2.5. I'll get my ruler to connect all 3 lines. All right, now when you are drawing your dart from the bust line, you're going to come down 1 inch, take it all the way through, and then when you get to the hip line, you're going to stop at 2 inches above. So I'm going to be stopping here. I don't know if that makes sense. So my bust line, I'm going to come down 1 inch, and then I'll draw it all the way through. And then when I get my hip line, I'm going to stop at 2 inches above. Okay, then I'm going to have half an inch on this side, half an inch on that side, and then connect my dart legs. Now, as I'm looking at this measurement, it looks to me that the bust is a bit too high. The bust measurement should have actually been 8. Okay, so I'm going to redirect the bust measurement from 7 to 8, and that will mean that a whole lot of the measurements, draft measurement, is going to be changing at this point. Okay, great. Sometimes when you have done this for a very long time, you know it when a measurement was not done right. Okay, based on how the whole thing looks like. So yes, the bust measurement should be at 8 inches. Chest should be here, but bust moves down a bit. So that means that the bust is going to affect the whole dart area. So I'm going to have to redo my dart. It's not going to be a massive change, but there's going to be some form of change there as well, because your bust line should start from 1 inch below your bust line. Does that make sense? So it's going to be starting from here, and then I'm going to have to connect that and that. But that looks like a proper and better bodice block at this point. Okay. So basically that is it for the front bodice block. Today is the 23rd, 5, 2025. Red carpet 5. I'm going to have to be doing about 15 of these. So this is just for the front bodice block. I'm going to bring my tracing paper, and then we're going to transfer all of these to the back. Because she hasn't got any bodies, I'm not going to be doing a side dart. I've just done the front dart, and basically that's it. If there's any manipulation that needs to be made going forward based on the style I'm going to be cutting out, I'll do that on that day when I'm cutting out. Now let me see. Yeah, 2 inches above. So I'm going to bring my tracing paper, and hopefully I'll be able to get this done, and then we'll wrap up the live video so that it doesn't extend too much. All right, I'm going to be leaving 1 inch as my zip allowance. that's my zip allowance. I'm going to line that up with my front bodice block. I know we're just generating the back bodice block from the front bodice block because most of the measurements are the same. So I usually just tend to trace them out and just do a few manipulations from there. And because this tracing paper is very transparent, I can basically see all my measurements here. So I'm going to be transferring my measurement waist, bust, chest, and shoulder. The armhole will be drawn differently, and the back dart is also drawn differently. Your neckline is drawn differently as well. And basically, I think for the basic bodice block for the back, those are the main differences. So for my neckline, I'm going to be dropping it down 1 inch, and then I'm going to bring my armhole curve and connect my back neckline. Okay. And then for my armhole, where the midpoint is, I'm going to bring my armhole curve. This time I'm not going out or in. I'm just connecting it all the way down to join to join the curve. And then I get a straight ruler to finish it off to the shoulder. Basically, that's it. So we are done for the back. There's something that I had left out on the front bodice block that I'm going to be bringing into the back bodice block as well. So you see this dart intake. When we take this dart in, we have to make it up for this bit here. So because you're going to be stitching this in, it means that it's going to make the garment smaller if we don't make room for what we've taken in. So I'm going to increase the waistline by 1 inch so that when we snatch it in, it doesn't take the real measurement out, all right? But then we would have made room for that on the side. So I'm going to just increase it on the waistline and then connect that new measurement to both the hip and the chest, okay? So it may look a bit funny in your draft like that, but once you pull it in, it goes back to shape. I hope that makes sense. So now this is my chest for my back bodice. This is my bust. This is my waist and my hip. I'm going to be drawing my back dart. And for the back dart, from the chest, you're going to drop it down to 1 inch, and that is where your line is going to start from, and it's going to end at 2 inches above your hip line. So it's going to end at the same place as your front bodice, but it's going to start from a different point as your front bodice. Okay, I'm just going to connect my dart line, and because this paper is transparent, it makes it easier to just connect all the dots from your front bodice block. Okay, so basically that is the front bodice block. Like I said, because it's for a child, I didn't even have to do put in that, but I just decided to put in because it shapes the garment beautifully. And so basically that's it. I'm going to be cutting it out in a minute, but let me label it, date it, because I'm doing quite a number, and also put, let me then title there as well. So I'm going to leave it like this, but I'm going to cut everything together as one. And remember to always use a paper scissors when you're cutting out. Don't mix your fabric scissors with your paper scissors. I assume you know this already. I'm just emphasizing it here, and just in case you don't know it, then you'll know that that is what you have to basically do. Okay. going to be cutting my shoulder, and then I'll cut my back. Okay, so basically that's it. That's my back bodice. I'm going to take the back bodice, not really take it off completely. I'm going to just pull it down a little bit and then cut out my front bodice, because you realize that the neckline and the armhole for the front bodice is a bit different. So I'm going to just get those shapes out beautifully, and then that will be it. I know that people say it's difficult to do the bodice block, but I know I hear it a lot in our sessions, so I know that is something that is out there. But hopefully when you've been able to watch this video to the end, you realize that it's not that difficult. And I keep saying that practice makes perfect, so keep practicing, and then with time you'll be able to do it beautifully. If you happen to watch this video, if it was beneficial to you, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it keeps supporting the community and it keeps us growing. Let's know that you tried it and it worked for you. And as I'm wrapping up, I'd like to say a massive thank you for joining me, or if you happen to watch this later at your own time, thank you very much for spending some time on this channel. Take care. Take care of your mental health, as that is very, very important. That is something that has become of massive importance these days in our life. Let nobody tell you otherwise. Let nobody bring you down. Let nobody tell you you can't do it. You can do it if you decide you want to do it. The power is in your own hands. Like I always say, a life as we live is like a blank canvas. You decide what color you want to put on that canvas and what picture you want to create. Don't let anybody tell you how to create your picture. And remember, you are unique. You are one of a kind. There are no too many Sheilas in the world. There may be other Sheilas you may have heard of, but the Sheila that looks like this, have this face, have these eyes, have these fingers, have this body, the Sheila that looks exactly like me is just one type. I can't, even if I had a twin, we would not be the same. We are different in nature, we are different in character, we are different in everything and every way. So let nobody bring you down, and let nobody cause your mental health ever to be affected. You are a blessing to this generation because you are here and now. So try and make a massive impact whilst you are here with us. Until I meet you or come your way again, have a brilliant day, and don't forget to watch our other videos, as I believe those are very informative as well. Until we meet again, take care and bye.